Hello, and welcome to the Author's Corner. I just want to say Happy New Year. Maximizing in 2025. I'm really excited. I'm excited to bring my contributing writers, Stephanie. She's going to be talking with Stephanie Wrights. So excited to hear from her today in regards to starting our year off right as authors. And I believe that if you're an author, you're also what? A speaker. You got to advocate for your book. You got to talk about it. You got to market it. You got to get it out there. It's not going to do it by itself. So you got to get up and you got to speak about it and let people know that your book is out there. Or if you've been down and you haven't written your book, come on, what you waiting for? Come on and join us. Get it out there. Get it out your system because you probably got another one in there too. And so take a center stage also too, and owning it with me is Coach Tiffany Para, and she is the editor-in-chief of Phoenix Fitness Magazine. Love her because we are both about fitness, staying fit, healthy, and all that good stuff. And in order for you to do the work you got to do, you got to stay fit and physically fit. All right, taking center stage is Stephanie Lynch and Tara. Welcome, ladies. It is the top of the year. Woo, it's the top of the year. And I just want to give a shout out to you guys for being flexible. Normally we go live at 10 a.m., but here in living international, being global, especially being in the Dominican Republic, I'm telling you, you can make plans. The Bible says the plans of man are many, but it's the Lord's counsel that should stand. And they tell you here, the lights are not going on. The power went off. We had Three Kings this weekend. We had Three Kings Day over the weekend, and the beach here was packed. And guess what? We had no lights. The infrastructure could not support it, and so lights was out. So you just got to go with the flow. And so I want to thank you as my team members for always being flexible with me and giving me my time when I need my time, and just flowing with me. So I appreciate that. And dream work. We got to help each other. We got to support each other in that capacity. And just so thankful that we are able to do that. So listen, we're at the top of the year. We're in the Author's Corner. What is up? So, what's up, ladies? Where should authors be? What should they be thinking about? Where should their head be? Because as I say, every year, the end of the year will be here. Because at the end of the day, the year's got to end. So where do you want to be at the end of the year? You got to start your year off right. So Stephanie, I'm going to charge you first, sis. What is the deal? Where should they be as authors?
Authors and wannabe authors need to be mapping their strategic plan right now for how they are going to actually get their book written. First, you need to decide what your topic's going to be. You need to decide what your audience is going to be, what format you want your book to be, and what exactly you want the content to be. You don't want to just start writing from the beginning and letting words come out of your head completely unrestrained, because you may decide, I don't like that thing, and delete everything. And there's nothing wrong. That's the great thing about us writing on computers now, is you can delete and rewrite, but you want to be strategic with your time. So doing a simple outline first and dividing it up into what you're going to do during which months. The first month, if you want it to be January, or if you want to move it to February because January is already crazy, whatever your month one is going to be, that is the month you want to write your objective. Why are you writing this book? Is it just because you want to see your name on the cover because you think it's going to make you important? Are you doing it because you are a professor at a university and you are expected to write so many books a year and you haven't been in that position before? Or are you doing it because it literally can give you credibility as a business person? Once you know why you're writing your book and you've decide how long you want to spend on that. Is that going to be a one-day project? Is that going to be a one-week project? Then you want to outline what format you want your book to be in. Is that going to take you a month? Is that going to take you 3 months? You're going to want to decide what kind of cover you're going to want. That's actually not the last thing you want to do, because you want to start before you're actually done with your book, having teasers out there that your book is coming. My latest book, AI and Writing Dangers, for journalists and creative writers, didn't come out till November, but I had my cover designed in June and was starting to promote it at workshops and on social media. Um, Having a good editor. In addition to being an author, I'm also an editor. So you need to have an editor on hand to go over your book at least once. There are different kinds of editors. I kind of consider myself an all-in-one editor. Some people want to have one person checking for grammar, pay another person to check for the flow of it, the content. You can have 5 different editors, but you really don't need that as long as you have one good one that's going to focus on your format, your sentence structure, all of that.
Oh wow, that you have some very good points. I'm really bad. I come out the gate blazing. I have my right, Tiffany. I come out the gate blazing. I'm like, okay, we're gonna do this book project. We're gonna boom, 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 boom. So I always come out blazing. But you're right, because books, content is formatted differently. You can have a beautiful layout if you take the time. One thing I notice about some authors is that they just dump the project with you and just keep it moving. And it's just like, wow. It's even with the magazine. Even when I was bringing people and launching them, I could tell when you're taking the time and you have a vision for it, or when you're seeing someone else do the work, you're seeing how great they're doing, and you just give it to them and say, well, go ahead and put your greatness on it. But then it's not you, then it's someone else. So I was talking to a young man today here as I was leaving the resort, handling some business there, and he started doing yoga, and I said to them, and this is a lesson. This is a lesson for that can be applied to anyone. Don't just do stuff. Don't just do it. Get deep into it. Understand why. He says, he had someone train him on yoga. I said, but do you understand that yoga is spiritual? It's spiritual. It has disciplines. Do you know those? Because don't just show up. Just don't. I said to him, I don't like when folks are mediocrity, right? I don't like that. Show up and be deep about what it is you're showing up for. Care about what you're doing. Don't go to the extreme where you self-sabotage. Have a balance, but care about the work that you do and master it. And so I just want to give a tip of the day before I forget. And then Tiffany, I want to hear what are your input as the publisher? You making all these international bestsellers. Listen, my tip for you as a writer, if you're writing anything, I'm a systems thinker. The reason I can get so much done is I think in a systematic approach. And so what you want to do is be systematic about how you're going to approach this project, right? What do you want people to walk away with? And Tiffany testified to this. I say, okay, all I need, your table of contents, when you submit your magazine to me to design, your table of contents is your checklist. Mm-hmm. So you want to make a table of contents that is a checklist of what you want the reader to walk away with. What do you want them to walk away with? What do you want them to walk chapter 1? What do you want them to walk away with from chapter 2, 3, 4, 5? I always do 5 and 7 because 5 is the number of grace, 7 is the number of completion. And I always want to have the grace to complete the project, right? So those are my 2 favorite numbers. But what I'm saying to you is that's how you can structure it so that you're not all over the place, right? So point number 1 should lead you right into chapter number 2. Chapter number 2 should lead you with your into chapter number 3. That's how it simplifies things. And you keep a flow and you keep on point because you make sure that the content of that chapter matches the point and goes with the storyline that you're delivering. It goes with the storyline and maintains consistently. And it takes them from a starting point, starting mindset, behavior, call to action to a completion of that. Remember, this is all about learning, no matter what it is. Whether it's educational, whether it's business development, career development, everything that we write is to teach someone else or introduce them to a different perspective or experience. So remember that if you're writing to teach. If you're advocating to what? Teach. You're influencing, you're bringing a different perspective or point of view. So you want to make sure that that's captured. So that's my tip of the day, is that when you decide to write a book or write anything, the most important takeaways. What do you want them to learn from this experience? And how does that learning experience go step by step in the development process? Step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4 should lead you to the rest. Case in point with weight, right? With weight, the first thing you want to do is identify. I want to lose 10 pounds. I just went and got on that scale because I said I got too many to look like look phenomenal. So I want to take 12 pounds off of. So I weighed in, so I can know, so I can measure my results. I weighed in, so that's step number 1. To make the decision, make the choice. That's step number 1. 2, now you want to measure your results. You weigh in, you get the weigh in, you make sure that you understand it. Next thing is discipline yourself with your eating habits. Create a physical fitness plan, right? So that's how you want to write your book. What's step 1, step 2, step 3, and what are the takeaways from that? So very important. And so you just like Steph on. So if you need someone to help you with the editing part, and that's another thing that's very, very important, is that you make sure you get an editor. Have someone look over your work. And some people are very meticulous, and other people are like, whatever, they don't really care. But make sure you have someone else's eyes on your writing, so that someone can give you some feedback to let you know that you're in the right direction. Now, we have Jacqueline Lulu Brown. Now, let me tell you something. She does a whole, she does where she reaches out, she does a poll. So she will send out anything that she's writing, and she will get a group of people that will look at the work and give her feedback before she publishes anything. She'll have them look at it and give her their feedback based on how they feel. You could do that too. That's another tip. You could actually have your family. This is the 360 degree is that you have someone that you really, really have high regards for. Look at your work. Then you have someone who's on your right, people on your peer level, and then you have someone who's underneath you, maybe the next generation down, the next generation up, and the people across. And then you have them read a piece of your work, if not all of it, just a piece of it, just to see, hey, am I going in the right direction? Do you think that this would be interesting to an audience? Do you think it's worth writing about? You could do a poll like that and then get your feedback that way in order to move forward. And so I'm going to digress, and I'm going to let Tiffany come in and share, because we see it as editors. We see the difference between an author who is coming in to show up and show out, and they really want to be a part of the work, and they can get an amazing experience from that. Or those who just say, hey, here, do it. And that's okay too. To a certain degree, that's really, really okay. Sometimes you don't want folks giving you too many directions. So I'm going to digress. And Tiffany, share with us. It's the top of the year. Listen, people, we want you revved up.
Right.
We want you alive and thriving in 2020. All this mediocrity, cut it out. Tiffany,
Well, hello, everyone. And thank you, Marisa, for just having me here, having me in the platform. I just love being part of Own It. You guys, I mean, man, I'm just going to say it's life-changing, because it really is life-changing, because I'm going to be right there where you are here in just a minute. So, yeah, I just got a video of my house out there and the progress of it. So it's just amazing. But, when it comes to writing, I mean, I love writing in groups. That is just the way I have been. I started out in anthologies and decided to be a visionary author, with anthologies. And with the anthologies that I have out there, there are women sharing their stories from trauma to triumph, so that is when you're going from trauma to triumph, there's always a lesson to be learned. And there is that call to action, right? Because there is that person that's out there that's dealing with the same thing or something similar that the author is writing about. And now it's, hey, you know what? I got on the other side of this. Now you can try, you know, this XYZ to get on the other side of it as well, right? With what we're doing now, unsnapped, right? Unsnapped, understanding necessary solutions needed to apply positive principles, ending destruction. What do you do to stay calm, cool, and collected? Right. And that's something that people really do need at the beginning of the year, because it is a little chaotic, you know, and we need to be able to just kind of just stop. I have found the most success in having it be very structured. You know, I come from HR, so I come from that training and, you know, development background. And I looked at, you know, some of the anthologies that I did, I had a lot of fun with, but there were things that were missing. So I chose to create it where it's, hey, you know what? We're going to be together for some months. We're going to have, you know, some gladiators come in and gleam on you and teach you a few little things. And they always have something to do with what we're writing on, you know, so that really helps. And I always assign an accountability partner. You know, we'll have that accountability partner. So you've got your eyes, accountability partner, and now you have an editor as well. So you've got some layers there. And you're so right, you know, getting, you know, some of your, you know, trusted family or a trusted friend. You can't have everybody read your stuff. I'm going to say that much. Because if you have too many eyes on your stuff, there's going to be too many, just too many things in your head, too many opinions, and you're going to stop. You know, I know for a minute there, I did stop a few times, you know, because of all the different chatter. So I just say, you know, really just go ahead and just, you know, let's just tone it out. And, you know, and again, find someone like Stephanie that is an editor, that is, you know, someone that is educated in this, and that is an unbiased opinion, because when you have some family and friends to read your stuff, they might be reading it from a different thought process, right?
And maybe personally, and it's not about them, right?
And it's not, you know, when you're sharing your story, I mean, it is your story, and you went through these things. And if it may have been going through these things with certain individuals, it's still your story. So don't let that, you know, hinder you from, you know, sharing your story. And again, just make sure you share it with the right people to get you to that finish line, right? And celebrate
write it from the heart.
Yes, absolutely. You're so right, Stephanie. Write it from the heart.
Yeah, that's my article for you for February, is about writing from the heart, because if you write from the mind, you're going to overthink things. If you write from the gut, you might
get
the heart too emotional and too.
Yep.
And the heart is where your authenticity is anyway. I don't care what anybody says. I do not care what anybody else says. The reason people struggle is they're not owning their heart. They're not owning their truth. They're allowing other people to talk to them. And then we talk about this all the time, about getting away from folks and getting in tune with yourself, because that's critically important when you're getting ready to write. You know, I don't care how well you write. Somebody is coming for you to say, why would you do that? Why would you?
Yeah.
Some very credentialed people share transparently with. Can you believe someone said to me, why would I write that? And they come for all of us. The most profound, professional, well-known people come for them. If you look at, come on, Twitter all day long, Instagram all day long, people come for you. And you have to have the backbone to support what you said. And that means that if you say it from the heart, from your true heart's conviction,
yep,
you're speaking your real truth. You know, you don't have to be nasty. You don't have to dog anybody else out. Speak from your truth, and you'll be fine, and you'll feel much better for it. I love it. Own It is working on its volume 2. Go ahead. Check in with the heart, right?
Just like a doctor uses a stethoscope to listen to your heart.
Yes, you do.
Just like your doctor uses the stethoscope to listen to your heart, as a writer, your book is the reader's stethoscope to listen to your heart, to see who you really
there you go.
are.
Very good.
Ooh, I love it.
Very good. I love it too. You have to speak to your heart, and when you are in tune with that, and you are in tune with loving yourself, you become unshakable.
Yeah.
Because you know that you're not being venomous to anyone else. You're being true to yourself. And sometimes that being true to yourself does kind of hurt and offend other people who are just in their own space.
Right. Yeah.
Space, and they have to deal with whatever's going on with them. But as write, open your mouth and write. It's a double-edged sword. It cuts in both directions, and so I just recommend that. So I'm going to do some shout outs, which I normally don't do, but I'm going to do some shout outs because we are doing some amazing things. Own It is celebrating 5 years. Actually, we're going into our 6th year, but as the editor-in-chief, CEO, it's time for us to celebrate that number. Okay, we're going to be on in our 6th year. We're going to be celebrating our 5 years of magazine and publishing, 700 plus videos, live interviews over the years. And we've got more because I started interviewing back in 2018. So you got to think, I was on Blog Talk Radio before StreamYard and Facebook Live. And so I know I had well over 1,000 plus probably interviews that are out there if you calculate them all together. I'm not big on numbers. We have over 300 plus magazines that have been published and out there. So we've done a lot. I think within the last year or two, we've actually published over 30 books, giving them #1 bestseller status on Amazon. So we have done a lot. And I'm so busy doing the work and enjoying it, because it's not like work to me, that I not even realized how much we've done. And I didn't realize how much we have not celebrated. And so this year, May 1st to the 4th, join us. It's limited space, so you gotta go to tcsconsultingllc.com, check it out, get in touch with me, message me on one of the social media platforms. I'll get back to you. We have limited space, but we are celebrating 5 years of Own It Magazine and Publishing. And while we love TEDx, Own It has decided to do its own thing, and we got Own It X. So we have a lineup of international speakers that will be coming here to the DR May the 1st through the 4th, and we're going to be doing Own It X, celebrating 5 years of great success. Public, really excited about that. We'll be celebrating all the anthologies from Own It Unapologetic to Own It Unleashed to In His Presence, Confident and Sexy. And we're even redoing Sweetheart Before I Say I Do. But girl, we got the volume 2 of In His Presence, the Words to Inspire You book series, Faith, Hope, and Love. We are launching that now. And so we're just off the chain. That's why I said we come out the door. Boom. We are like boom. So I'm so excited about 2025. So I want you to be encouraged. You hear the amount of energy that's in me, and that's because take this year by storm. Do not let anything steal your thunder. Don't be looking to the left or to the right. Focus on what God has put in your heart and your spirit to do, and do that. Focus on that. Don't focus on this other stuff. Like Tiffany said, trust yourself.
That's right.
Are you one that needs to poll people, or are you one who needs to keep your stuff right? I don't poll folks. I'm putting it out there, and I'm not putting anything out there. You see, anything that comes out of Own It magazine is excellent. It's beautiful. It's excellent. I give God all the glory, because I didn't put this gift and talent into me. He did it. And so I'm just so really thankful to him to do that. But that's what we got to do with our dreams. That's what we got to do with our ambition. We got to stop asking folks for permission, and we need to go ahead and do what we were meant to do. And so I'm going to let you ladies close us out. What projects do you have going on, Stephanie, or what do you have to offer? Tiffany, we know you got Unsnapped. Talk about that. So Stephanie, you're up.
Like I said, I've got my newest book out on ebook, AI in Writing, Dangers for Journalists and Creative Writers. I also am going to be starting some workshops starting next week. And I'll have this in both magazines too, so you can catch on later in the year. 45 minutes for $45. There's going to be 3 themes a week. Working on your resume, working on the, I'm sorry, I had a message there. Working on your starting your book, having a weekly session to kind of guide you through your book, and then just picking a day a week where you just pick my brain. Just what do you want me to help you with? Where are you struggling? Where are you stuck? If you're not working on a resume and you don't need to come to the resume session, or if you're not working on a book yet and you need advice on your business plan or a blog or something, that's what the picking my brain is for. I can help you with those things. And the AI in writing is it's really important for people to realize AI is as heartless as you can get with writing. There's no emotion in it. There's no feeling, and a lot of that are wrong. So do not believe the AI. Do not use the AI for your cover or any of your work. That 2D glossiness is going to take your credibility down in a heartbeat as a real writer or editor or artist.
Good advice. Tiffany, you're up.
Wow. I am going to tell you 2025 is going to be just on fire. So again, we have the Unsnapped anthology coming out. That will be coming out in March. We have a couple of conferences. We have our women's conference, our third annual Girl Powerhouse Network Women's Conference, February 22nd. That's here in California, Rancho Cucamonga, California. So all you people out in the IE, come on, get your tickets. February 22nd. Then we also are following it with a men's conference. It's our first annual men's conference. And I'm going to tell y'all, man, we got some heavy hitters coming in the room. I am so excited just to be able to support this first men's conference, which will also be in Rancho Cucamonga as well. We are inviting authors to come get in the room, share what you do, because there will be a lot of authors. There will be, people out there that are speaking because they have a book. And that is something, y'all, that when you get that book can open up so many doors for you. So write it. If it is in your belly and you're ready, just go ahead and get it out there, because you will see your life just start to change by just sharing your story and sharing your brilliance. So tap in. We also have a publishing company, Girl Powerhouse Publishing, and we just launched that. We're taking on projects right now. We are working on a few projects, but if you are ready to, get your book out there and you just need a team of, amazing women behind you just to help you along the way, definitely tap in. And you can tap in with me. You can either text 909-326-0099, or you can email Phoenix Fitness Fanatics Magazine at gmail.com. All right. Thank you.
Awesome. Doing some great things. And I love it, Stephanie. I don't think you mentioned the dissertation part. And so she helps with dissertations as well. And any kind of academic writing, Stephanie is there. And like I said, I'm a part of Unsnap. Thank you so much, Tiffany. It's not always that I get time to do my own projects. So I try to jump on as best I can. But amazing things. And so we hope that our words inspired you to be unleashed, unapologetic, and fully liberated. It's your life. Own it. We are out. We love you so very much. Happy New Year. Let's take this year by storm. We're starting the year off right. Be blessed. We're out.